We are a river city, a bold city, the First Coast, a place to create and to belong. Here, the sun shines a little brighter, and so do the people. We share a love for our region, a pride for JAX, and a passion for the beautiful game, dedicated to giving everyone a sporting chance. Together, we will elevate soccer and sport in our community by lifting every voice. We are Sporting Club Jacksonville. We are Sporting JAX.
Hello and welcome into the Sporting JAX Report. I'm Cole Pepper. Coming up, Emerson Burris gets Energizer Sophia Boman to slow down for just a little bit. Plus, we'll get to know some of the youngest future stars in the Sporting JAX Soccer Academy. And we hear from Becky Burleigh on what Sporting JAX can accomplish as they begin a stretch of 3 straight matches away. But let's start with last Friday night's mid-season friendly against KC Current 2. For both Sporting JAX and KC, the friendly was a real positive. For KC Current, it's a chance to play a competitive match, something the only reserve team in the NWSL doesn't really have many opportunities to enjoy. For Sporting JAX, the game served as a replacement for the postponed preseason friendly against the Scottish champions Hibs and gave Stacey Balaam a chance to get some more players playing time. To Hodges Stadium we go. Good crowd on hand. A lot of families with kids enjoying the pregame tailgating activities and the match. Early on, Sporting JAX took control, dominating possession in the opening half hour. Look at them build out of the back here. Meg Hughes to Jade Pennick to Paige Kenton to Maddie Kemp. Kemp nearly scores her second goal in as many matches. Sporting JAX would keep the pressure on as the first half continued. Sophia Boman on a long run, and after the takeaway, a lot of space to deal with. Boman with a little deke right there, and the shot from the top of the box handled by the KC keeper. A couple of minutes later, another Jacksonville takeaway. Boman in the middle of it again, able to help pry this one loose. Sends it ahead to Pennick. Beautiful through ball for Kemp. And she finds Meg Hughes, but it's just wide, still 0-0. Subs started coming on just after the half hour. Second half now, Sporting JAX again attacking. Bailey DeSmit working her way through the KC defense. Takes a shot with the left foot that finds the post. That close to a goal. Now 55th minute, Libby Smith coming on, making her Sporting JAX debut. Good to see the new addition getting some time. Fans like it as well. 63rd minute now, and here comes the goal. Sydney Schmidt sends one forward. Elena Arrington feeds Andrea Fernandez, and the former Flagler All-American did what she did 75 times in college, finds the back of the net, her first professional goal, and it's a reason to celebrate. Sporting JAX up 1-0. Take another look here. Check out the angle on this goal. I really thought she was going to carry it across and go far post. Instead, tucks it into the front post. Gives Sporting JAX the 1-0 victory, the first home win in club history, first clean sheet, and first goal for Andrea Fernandez.
First win at home, which is really nice to get. Great support. Really appreciate the fans. We made hard work of it. I think, KC Current came in and played a great game against us. They showed a toughness. We had to try and match that. We had to change some things at half time, and we were just looking for a positive response because, it was 0-0 at half time, and we needed to try and find a lead somehow.
I just grabbed the ball and I went dribbling through the box, and I just think to shot that one, and lucky it was in. So really happy for my first goal and for the first win in this game.
It's nice to finally get on the pitch. It feels like it's been a long time coming, but yeah, really happy to get some minutes. Obviously, it's nice to get a clean sheet. We've not been able to do that yet, and obviously to get the win going into Carolina next week, which will be obviously a really tough test.
All right, here's a look at the stats from the match. The 1-0 victory for Sporting JAX. 5 shots on target out of 7 shots, so very efficient from that standpoint. Dominated possession, as you can see there. Also had chances on corners. If anything, Sporting JAX would like to try to take better advantage of what they have with those opportunities. But it was a very positive evening for Sporting JAX, getting the home win for the first time in club history. We now welcome in Becky Burleigh. Becky, this was a game with a lot of firsts. First home win, first goal for Andrea Fernandez, first clean sheet, first game for Libby Smith in a Sporting JAX kit. Just a lot of firsts.
You know, the other takeaway that I had from that game was I thought they did a very good job of finding passes that broke lines. I mean, the entry passes to the forwards, even the entry passes from the center backs into the midfield, they just felt really crisp. And matter of fact, that, you know, that the goal that was scored came from a buildup like that. And I am really impressed with the identity that's starting to really come together for Sporting JAX.
Yeah, a lot of young players got some good minutes too. What did you think of the player usage of the game?
You know, I think anytime that you can do that against good competition, which clearly they were, that is like invaluable, because it gets to a point in the season where people feel like they're really not getting an opportunity, which I would push back on, because every day in practice is an opportunity, but it's still different when you're playing against someone else. And so for that to happen, and I think that's one of the strengths of this team, if I'm being honest, like I think there's some good depth and there's some good ability for changes to be made that don't impact the game in a negative way at all. And a matter of fact, in some ways, it just adds a different dimension.
All right, well, now it's 3 straight away. Stacey Balaam says she likes playing away because of the additional control for the team. Did you like playing away when you were a coach?
I agree with Stacey in that. Like, you know, the captive audience gives opportunity for people to kind of bond as a team because you're spending more time together. You know, when you're at home, everybody's going home, back to their own places, doing their own thing. When you're on the road, it's an opportunity to be together a lot more. And those relationships that form off the field, I am a big believer in, those carry onto the field. And this is a young team. You know, this is a team that's still starting to form their identities and their relationships with one another.
Becky, thank you. Let's take a look at the standings in the Gainbridge Super League here at week 6. You can see Spokane, the only team to have played 6 matches so far. That included a match earlier this midweek. Sporting JAX, with the bye week, played the friendly within it, 4 matches so far. But you can already see this is going to be a very tight race here as the season unfolds. Dallas got it for that great start, winning the first 3 matches. They've had a draw and a loss since. So everybody's starting to catch up. Fort Lauderdale playing very well right now. And a reminder, while the season goes through next spring, the top 4 teams will make the postseason. Right now, everybody just jostling for position as the season gets underway. This week, the team was back on the training pitch, looking ahead to the first of 3 straight matches away from home. It starts tomorrow against Carolina Ascent. The opportunity for Sporting JAX keep the positive momentum from last Friday's win as they head back into league play.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be using what they learned against us last week, and so are we. So I think just kind of looking at what worked. Obviously, we scored, and so now it's just about tightening things up and keeping them off the scoreboard. But we did some great things, so using that to propel us forward.
Now that we know how they play, you know, like we can fix the mistake that we made in the past, and also like continue doing the good thing that we did, because I think for the majority of the game, like we have the control of the game. So just keep working on the little details to have the win.
Yeah, they gave us some problems. Obviously, they pressed us high. They tried to negate our build, and they tried to take away options in the midfield. So we've been, you know, just trying to work through that and just try and get comfortable in uncomfortable situations. We want to still maintain our identity. We don't want to abandon what we do. So we just need to fine-tune.
Some news around the league. U.S. international Gio Reyna has joined the ownership team for Fort Lauderdale United. The current Gainbridge Super League side and soon to be USL League One team will have some international punch now, not on the pitch, but in the boardroom. Reyna is playing in the Bundesliga in Germany. He scored 8 goals and 32 caps for the U.S. men's national team. And a massive bit of news for the USL this week. The league announcing a partnership with the private equity firm Bell Tower Partners. The strategic investment in the USL ecosystem includes global business leader Kusong Lee joining the USL Board of Directors as vice chair. We don't have specifics exactly on how the new investment will be utilized, but it appears to be a potential game changer for the USL ecosystem. Now to tomorrow's game. Sporting JAX will be in Charlotte to face Carolina Ascent for the second time this season. The two sides met on September 13th with Carolina Ascent escaping with a 2-2 draw. The Ascent played last night, losing 1-0 to Spokane. But this is a matchup Sporting JAX will be looking forward to try to continue their good play away. They won their first match in club history away, playing at Tampa Bay Sun. All right, we now welcome in Emerson Burris. Emerson, this week you caught up with one of the players who just never stops, Sophia Boman. To say that you caught up with her is saying something. Well, she is just an energizer.
Yes, Sophia Boman is one of the brightest players on this team, and her story is just as energetic as the way she plays. From kicking a ball before she could walk, to building her pro career, and now coaching kids here in Jacksonville.
Soccer has always been a part of Sophia Boman's life, long before she ever laced up cleats.
Well, like the joke in my family is I started playing before I could walk. Pretty sure all the other parents were like, what is that kid in diapers doing?
That early start grew into a dream, one she always chased with her sisters in the front yard.
Whenever I was little, I always wanted to play like professional soccer. I was trying to tag along with my sisters.
She went on to start Minnesota, where she says one coach taught her mindset became just as important as a skill.
And so I worked with him a lot, like my 5th year, on just like mindset and kind of like doing everything I can to make like my goal of becoming a professional player happen.
And now in Jacksonville, Boman is known just as much for her energy as her play.
I think I was just born like that because I've always been like that my whole life.
That energy has carried over to coaching, where she's shaping the next generation at Epic.
I actually coach here at Epic, and shout out Epic, it's great. They have like awesome indoor facilities, gym area, and they're building a recovery suite. And I work with mostly high schoolers, some younger kids too, middle schoolers, elementary schoolers, just a mix, boys and girls.
And even with her busy schedule, she says it's rewarding to keep giving back through the game.
I think it's like rewarding. I always meet so many interesting people when I'm volunteering.
Whether it's her energy on the pitch or her dedication to coaching, Sophia Boman is leaving her mark on the Jacksonville soccer community in more ways than one.
Yeah, she's been great on the pitch, and to see what she's doing now with kids, coaching, becoming a bigger part of the soccer community locally, it's great. She's exactly the kind of player that Sporting JAX wants to have.
Absolutely. We had so much fun just kicking the ball around and getting to know her and her passion. She loves volunteering at the Mayo Clinic. She's always busy. I can't keep up with her.
Nobody can, that's for sure. We've seen that. Emerson, thanks so much. Introducing the Sporting Flex Pack. Get your seat for 4 home games for Sporting JAX. All part of a 4-game Sporting Flex Pack starting at just $60. Call 904-863-KICK. or visit sportingjax.com/flex to lock in your Flex Pack today. Still to come, Mauricio Ruiz joins us to take a closer look at the USL Championship. That's next as the Sporting JAX Report rolls on. Every game of the Gainbridge Super League can be seen streaming on Peacock. Home games can be seen on Channel 4 right here on the stations of First Coast News. You can catch Sporting JAX against Carolina Ascent tomorrow on Peacock. The next nationally televised USL Championship match scheduled for tomorrow as New Mexico United hosts Lexington SC, a 6 p.m. kickoff on CBS Sports Network as the playoffs approach. All right, time now for our USL Championship Game of the Week presented by Honda The Avenues. And today we head to Tampa where the Rowdies are trying to make a late playoff push. They hosted North Carolina FC. To Tampa we go. And a big night at Al Lang Stadium. Tampa Bay hosting NCFC in a match that would go the distance and then some. 14th minute, visitors strike first. Evan Conway gives North Carolina the 1-0 lead. 17th minute now, the Rowdies nearly respond. Paul Marie lines up a strike from outside the box, but Oliver Semmel drives it away. 37th minute out. Back come the host. Marie again slipping a pass to Manuel Arteaga into the bottom corner. It's 1-1. And it's game on. 50th minute now. Rowdies trying to push ahead. Alex Mendez lets fly from distance, but Semmel there quickly to tip it over the bar. 82nd minute. Tampa Bay goes in front. Wubens Pacius cuts inside of the break, finishing low. A 2-1 Rowdies advantage. Looks like 3 points for the home team, but stop everything. 5th minute of stoppage time. Olax Anderson puts it away to snatch a 2-2 draw at the death. stoppage time drama in St. Pete. The late equalizer earns North Carolina a share of the spoils in a 2-2 draw. And we now welcome in Mauricio Ruiz. Mal, week after week, we are continuing to see some thrilling matches in the USL Championship.
It really is, and from two teams that are, I mean, they're in opposite sides of the table, but they both need points, and no more than Tampa Bay Rowdies, a team that we're accustomed to seeing at the very top end, fighting for number 1 and 2. Now they're fighting for a playoff position, and under new coach, they've done really well. And this is the game, Cole, against North Carolina FC, that they were the better team. Two entertaining teams, two teams that play really entertaining football. And 2-1 into the, they came back in the game. They were down 1-0, and to get the 2-1 up at home in front of your home crowd that's desperately seeking a win, only to give up the tie with seconds left in the match. You feel like a loss for the Rowdies, and will feel like a win for North Carolina FC.
Well, let's take a look at the USL Championship standings, starting in the Western Conference. Tulsa still on top with a 6-point advantage over Sacramento. A lot of teams going to be jockeying for position here with less than 10 matches to play. A little over a month to go in the regular season, and teams like Orange County and Oakland Roots, who are hanging just below the line for the top 8 in each conference, are going to have to make a move moving forward. In the Eastern Conference, we continue to see Lou City dominating, 6 points clear of Charleston Battery. But you look at Loudoun United, North Carolina FC, they got the point. Hartford right there. Tampa Bay is trying to climb their way out. They were at the bottom of the table early in the season, trying to do the work. They just have a little bit more to go to try to get in that top 8, make it into the postseason, and maybe make some history. Group tickets are now on sale for Sporting JAX in the inaugural season. Groups of 10 or more can enjoy the best prices for single game tickets. Gather your friends, family, and coworkers to enjoy a night at Sporting JAX. General admission for group tickets start at just $22 per seat. Club seats only $39 per seat. Call 904-863-KICK or go to sportingjax.com to order your group tickets for pro soccer in Jacksonville. Still to come, our youth soccer spotlight. How Sporting JAX is helping the next generation fall in love with the game, one high five at a time. That's next as the Sporting JAX report rolls on. One of the things we saw in the KC Current friendly was the third kit being debuted. All 3 kits now have been on the field, and you can get yours. Use the QR code on your screen or go to sportingjax.com/shop to pick up your Sporting JAX kit today. Time now for the Youth Soccer Spotlight presented by the Bearded Pig Barbecue, and Emerson Burris is here again. Emerson, we talk about Sporting JAX creating that pathway to the pros. Well, that pathway starts with the youngest players in the system.
Absolutely. At Sporting JAX, even the youngest players can start their soccer journey. The Future Stars program introduces kids as young as 2.5 to the game, and it's quickly becoming a favorite first step for families.
Future Stars is all about balance, coordination, and fun. Each session is filled with energy, smiles, and plenty of high fives.
So it's so well run, so well organized, and they have really nailed just keeping it so fun and keeping them so entertained and active.
This mom has watched several of her kids grow up through the program.
And she really loves soccer. She begs, she cries for this every night, she loves it. And if you ask her if she's a soccer player or a dancer, she'll say soccer player.
Coaches say that kind of joy is what makes Future Stars special.
I just connect very well with the younger kids. I do feel like not only I inspire them as a coach, they thrive off me as a coach, just my energy. I'm very animated, but I can help them thrive off each other.
And it's also building a strong foundation.
So this definitely sets them up for success as well because, at this age, they're really getting comfortable with the soccer ball. You can't get to step B without step A. So this is definitely step A for them for sure.
What do you like to do at soccer practice?
But above all, it's about joy.
So the kids, definitely seeing the smiles on their faces for sure. You never want to see sad kids, and we never have sad kids.
From their very first kicks to the competitive stage, Future Stars is building not just players, but the next generation of the Sporting JAX family.
And so many smiles. Oh gosh, as a parent, you just love to see that. They are having a great time out there.
Absolutely. Highlight of my week by far.
Emerson, thanks so much. For more on Sporting JAX in the world of soccer, join Mark Warbert and Stacey Balaam and me every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010XL for the Coaches Show, presented by Sporting JAX. You can listen on air on 1010 AM or online or on demand at 1010XL.com. And be sure to join Mauricio, Becky, Emerson, and me every Thursday night at 6 for the Sporting JAX Soccer Hour. That's on AM 930, Fox Sports Radio Jacksonville, or the iHeart app. Still to come, Mauricio rejoins me as we take a closer look at the Premier League. That's next as the Sporting JAX Report rolls on. You can watch the Sporting JAX Report next Saturday at noon on NBC 12 before coverage of the Premier League. You can also find us on demand on First Coast News Plus and the Sporting JAX YouTube channel. Mauricio Ruiz rejoins us now. Mal, let's take a look at the Premier League. We're just 5 match weeks in, but it's not too early to start analyzing who might be in trouble. Which clubs need to pick it up a notch?
Well, 2 clubs that we never thought would be down there, which are Aston Villa and West Ham. You know, even in the beginning of the season, we would never imagine. You know, West Ham, they've kind of been on the decline a little bit last year, but it's still kind of mid-table team. But Aston Villa, if you remember, they're in the Champions League last year, a team that's trying to compete with the top 5, 6. So really, really disheartening and concerning that they're there. Wolves, Burleigh, you know, Brentford, they teams that have kind of, some of them have come up. But Aston Villa and West Ham, both alike, they look a little concerning. Aston Villa without a win so far in the campaign.
Mauricio, thank you so much. It's going to be interesting to see how the Premier League plays out for sure. Also interesting to see how the Gainbridge Super League season continues to play out. Again, tomorrow at 2, you can watch on Peacock as Sporting JAX takes on Carolina Ascent. Last time out, Sporting JAX had the 2-0 lead, wound up with a 2-2 draw, so they have a lot to play for in this one, and a chance to grab 3 points on the road would be massive, to be sure. Be sure to keep up to date with what's going on with Sporting JAX. Follow us on social media. We're on X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And we'll see you next week on the Sporting JAX Report.